I'll stop. But basically, you know, we also try to allow people to get a really good sense of their product on a site, and to visualize it in 3D. So this is a few of our origins. I won't go into it though, but if anyone wants to talk to me afterward, I'd be happy to.
Well, it's been fabulous, and thank you so much. I'm so glad you made it from Northampton. And I know we've run over time, but if people want to stay and ask questions, we're welcome to take some questions if you have anything you want to follow up on. Anybody? I can follow you. Wait, I'll come back to you.
What about maintenance like cleaning? What is green cleaning? Cleaning your house.
Sweeping? Anybody want to address?
Well, there's a few issues to that. Generally, it's considered one of the main factors is occupant health. So it would involve using materials that don't require toxic chemicals to clean them. It could also mean detailing a building in such a way that it minimizes places for mildew and stuff to form, which also contributes to occupant health. Green, you could also take the approach where you're actually looking at the downriver effect of the different cleaning materials and products that you use in the home. So if you design a home that's easier to clean, which means it's easy to clean with just basic soap and water, and people aren't using the really hardcore heavy-duty cleaning products, it could be a more green home because
I was thinking more like vacuuming, like a vacuum. Central vacuum.
Oh, I think the story on vacuuming is the implication is that there might be carpet somewhere. The healthiest option is to get rid of that carpet, and the healthiest option of all is especially to get rid of it in the bedroom.
I agree with you. You still have to. I use central vac for dusting.
Right. Actually, my clients in Leverett are going to have a little chute built. I guess this is a new thing where you have a little chute built in your kitchen, and so you can sweep and then just kind of throw it in, and that makes sweeping much easier. And I wanted to actually make my house hosable, but then the plumbing makes that a little difficult. So. I want the little hole in my house.
Thank you. This is for all the panelists. A lot of the designs that each of you showed today were very non-traditional, both inside and out. And a lot of the people I talked to seem to be resisting green homes right now because they don't like the modern look. How do you combat that attitude and continue to be able to deliver green products to a public that's resisting modern architecture?
Well, first of all, we don't combat anybody. Our site's about 50-50 traditional designs versus modern designs. Maura brought up some good points is that if you're looking at sort of launching these types of endeavors, you've got to look at who are the early adopters. And a lot of those people tend to have sort of a more modern taste. So what we found is that the people that are most likely to go a little bit beyond what the conventional consumer is doing tend to have more sort of a modern taste. They're often people that are moving from an urban setting into to start a family or something like that. They may be used to sort of apartment living, more of a loft style, and they don't like traditional American homes that have waste space on dining rooms that they'll never use and have 4 bedrooms when they're only going to have 2 kids and things like that. So I think if you want the traditional house, there's plenty of ones out there to buy, but you can't go out right now and just go, oh, I want a modern green home. You can't just go ask your real estate agent to show you those, and I think that's why there is a sort of a focus on when you're creating new homes to actually give people a real option.
I would just say that I think we need to build much more traditional homes, and our issue is we hired architects, and all architects love these boxes that you see here. So I think we have a lot of internal debates about, that is hopefully no architects here take offense to that. But our next couple homes we definitely started out with a lot of research, and part of the reason why we do at least some low slope homes as our first few homes was because we found a lot of people really want that iconography of a house. And our next couple of homes, we're doing a kind of a chalet kind of house, which is like a modern Swiss chalet shape. It's at least you get the shape of the gable roof, and so you'll meet code in Nantucket.
I think I'd simply contest the observation. I really don't see any correlation between modern or any particular architectural style and its capability of responding ethically and appropriately to the environmental constraints that we have to. There's just none at all, really. I don't think so. I would just encourage you not to worry about it. It's really not an issue. Do you want to? I mean, there's no connection between creating a building that's green and the architectural style that it
I'm not trying to
reflects.
suggest that green homes have to be in modern design. It just seems that very often the companies that are designing green homes are designing them in a modern style, and there's a lot of people out there who would love to have a green home, but who have trouble finding one that
I think you
their
just have to
neighbors
look
won't
at
laugh at.
look in solar today, for example. There's a distressingly large number of very boring-looking ordinary houses.
Well, speaking of old houses, this is all very interesting, but when you're thinking about existing infrastructure, smart growth, and the need to kind of reinvigorate existing neighborhoods where a lot of the housing stock is 100 years old and older, but has a tighter footprint than a lot of the suburban sprawl and makes a better use of infrastructure. This is really interesting. I'd like you to organize something that talks about retrofitting and working within some of the existing urban patterns and mill housing stock that we have so much of in New England, and yet people always say, oh, it's cheaper to tear it down and build something new. But if you look at the whole thing about waste, it's not, I don't think it really is cheaper, but it's something that I think could use some more study.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping that the April talk about landscapes will address that to some extent too, because we have a terrible suburban problem, and we do have a lot of existing buildings. So it's not to, we couldn't get to that today, but I know Bruce has done a lot with retrofitting existing, right, and he's doing a fantastic one on Cottage Street right now, and so I think there is a lot of movement in that way.
The key word of the moment which is arising is deep energy retrofits. It seems to have been coined by a few people recently. So Google that word and see what happens.
Can you just repeat it?
Deep energy retrofit.
Okay.
Deep.
It's clumsy, but that's what we're calling it.
All right.
National Grid have got a program out there, for example. We've got a discussion group of about a dozen people for the last year. It's a real challenge. I think a lot of people really do recognize the truth of what
It's a challenge, and then there's the lead paint, on top of.
Oh, there's a lot. It's difficult. That's true.
The Obama administration is actually moving to make this a high priority. There's a new DOE has put out a call for proposals that specifically focus on the retrofit issue. So that's pretty exciting.
Thank you.
I'm just curious for Maura and Ben. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know. Okay.
I don't know so much for you because I know you have a lot of blueprints downloaded, but I don't know what kind of data you collect or if you collect data at all from homes that are actually built. But for you, and if you have an answer for this, I'm just curious whether you do collect data on energy use and how you apply that to your designs, and you for energy use and as well wear and tear in terms of whether you alter your designs.
My short answer is we haven't been around long enough to have any good data sets, but we're doing, blower door tests on all of our products, all of our homes. And we actually are trying to adopt a software that actually is used by Living Homes, which is kind of like an online interface where clients can see the ongoing energy use of the house in real time. We haven't done it yet because it's sort of something we just thought about. We just saw in somebody else's talk and we thought, geez, we should be doing that. But